Right, welcome. This is the Chat Footy podcast. I am Chris Phelps. I'm running solo. It's another United rant. It's only going to be about 15, 20-minute podcast. Dave and Ben are gearing up. It's Sunday, the 2nd of December. They're gearing up for the Merseyside derby today. So these three big games. We've got Chelsea, Fulham, Liverpool, Everton, and Arsenal, Tottenham today. So I thought I'd get this in because we've not done a podcast for a few weeks. And also, I think every time we were going to do it, United have won. And every time we haven't done one, United have lost the last few weeks. So we haven't actually done one for about a month or so. So obviously these are just on the fly as we chat. And obviously I've got a new mic as well. So I just want to test out the quality. So hopefully it proves the quality because me and Dave do a lot of podcasts. So I've invested in a new headset and stuff. So I just want to see what this sounds like for the podcast. Anyway, you can hear it in my voice. I think after watching yesterday's result, United played crap, basically. We were 2-0 down against Southampton. Mark Hughes, ex-player, one of my all-time heroes at United as well, who's an absolute arse since he left, to be fair. Not because he managed City, he just absolutely puts the boot in. He's had loads of fallings out with Fergie. Sort of tarnished him, or my opinion of him, but still one of my all-time heroes with Eric and Robbo. Absolutely loved Hughesy. Wembley, 94 semi-final against Oldham. I went, gets a goal in injury time. Just as all the Oldham fans are singing, you know, always look on the bright side of life and stuff. But he got it right. First 25 minutes, you know, Southampton did what United can't do, and they started well. We were absolutely awful, atrocious, 2-0 down. And I've got to say, you know, absolutely love David De Gea. I'm not sure with the first goal, it was real quick, but the free kick, it looked like he'd pulled his hand. And I must admit, when we were 2-0 down within 20 minutes, I'm thinking, this is Mourinho gone, absolutely gone. We don't start playing. I've mentioned it a few times on the podcast. We don't start playing until we go behind. Just atrocious play. And the players, again, didn't look like they were playing. I mean, what the hell fucking Pogba's doing, I do not know. I mean, that guy does himself no favours. When he's on it, but he's so inconsistent. I'm at the point where we need to just get rid of him. He's got to go. He's too much of a distraction. There's just not enough there for him. You've got him, Fellaini and Matic playing. I know Matic was playing at the back, which is another joke. But they're just too slow, too cumbersome. There's no direction. And I'll be honest, I think now, you know, I've said it over the last few weeks, maybe on the social media, if you follow me, but which is Chris Phelps 78, by the way, if you need to follow us. But genuinely, I just think now it's gone. There's been plenty of performances like this, and there's plenty more to come. I mean, the Manchester derby was a disgrace. I don't think we've done one since then. An absolute joke of a game. We just didn't get into it. I thought when we went behind, we'd start playing again. We just didn't. You know, we scored at 2-1. What Edison was doing, I don't know, but we didn't deserve it. City were the better team. City are the better team, and it's a sad indictment of Mourinho. And I've said this on the podcast, is I end up finding other games of football to watch after I've watched United to sort of cleanse myself of the absolute dross and shit that I've had to watch. And that's coming from someone who's 40 now, as Dave and Ben alluded to in the Grassroots Coach cast last week. You know, I been away in Vegas for my birthday, and I got up and watched the Palace game, and that was an absolute shit show as well. You know, 0-0. We couldn't do anything. It was just atrocious football. And it's not a case of being entitled, thinking, well, United, we should win every game. You don't invest all that money on a team like this. It's just a fucking joke. I mean, you've got Eric Bailly there, the best defender. I've mentioned it countless times, not even in the team. Marcus Rojo played well, left-sided central defender, balanced at the back, not playing. You've got Jones and Smalling weaseling the ways back in. Chris Smalling is just terrible, and Jones is just a calamity. And it showed yesterday. Atrocious. I saw some stats after the game, like Phil Jones, 100% interceptions, passing. I was just like, no. If these two clowns are the backbone of your team, it's no wonder De Gea, who United have triggered a year's contract, no wonder he wants to go. And you know what? He'll go as a legend. He's the best keeper I've seen at United. Irrespective of Van der Sar and Schmeichel, he's the best keeper I've ever seen at Old Trafford. And probably one of the best I've ever seen. I think Neuer on his day is world class as well. But I think in my time, probably one of the best. So that's not being biased. He is probably one of the best keepers I've ever seen. Unbelievable. And you know, Buffon and people like that who was so good and consistent. Even Casillas, for a few years, he was fantastic. But for us, and obviously I see him week in, week out, see him at Old Trafford, season ticket now. And I just, in some respects, it's a horrible thing to say, but I'm glad I've given him a season ticket up, because I was talking, I started laughing. I used to share it with my brother. And obviously we give it up this year. My brother's got a terrible temper. And there's been a few times where I've got random letters from United saying, like, you need to control yourself and all this, because it's in my name. And he used to go mad at our kid. I remember the 6-1 City debacle with Balotelli, and I got a letter through saying, like, he'd been told to leave. I'd been told he to calm down. And he never told me, the little weasel, our kid. But anyway, and I was going mad at him. But if we were there now watching that, I'd have had my season ticket took off me, because there's no way my brother would have been able to control himself, which is a daft. But I could see his point of view, and I laughed yesterday and said to Jordan, I said, I'm so glad we haven't got season tickets. I said this season, not because I give them up because of the football. It was a financial position. I'd have a season ticket the rest of my life if I could. But that football is not right. I mean, Van Gaal and Moyes as well, raised the bar with playing absolute shit football at times. Van Gaal was great in the big games. He performed, got to Anfield, Juan Mata, the old scissor kick, getting 2 in that game, fantastic. When he was on the ball, we won the FA Cup. The big games, he was great. I used to have Van Gaal, who's an international manager who, for big games, he could set the team up. But for the poor teams, we were just poor, and we got beat. We couldn't score. We drew. And then Moyes, but I mean, the problem with Mourinho, because it's his 3rd season, first season we win the UEFA Cup or Europa League. We win the League Cup. Great. You're thinking, great, this is it. We're back. It's the start of it all. It's the momentum of rolling down the hill that we need. And what does he do? It's just gone backwards. And I think this season, I'd never thought I'd say this because I've defended Mourinho and I'm not a knee-jerk reaction fan, but he's basically done the old hold my beer job, because some of the football and decisions yesterday. I mean, McTominay's not played since Newcastle. Yeah, we got out of jail against Newcastle. We were 2-0 down. McTominay's crap. You know what I mean? He looked all right at first, but he's just a poor man's Darren Fletcher, who I hated anyway. As a footballer, Darren Fletcher's a man. He's a great guy, but footballer, absolute shit. Plays him at the back. That's not his fault. You've got Dalat there. They're saying he's going to play, puts him on the bench, brings him on, looks quite bright. He's a positive fullback. I think the Ashley Young experiment is over now. Yes, he does commit. He is committed to the team. He's got that proper United fight. And it's funny because I was talking yesterday to who was I talking yesterday? I was talking to my brother, one of my other brothers, Javier, and he said, like, usually with any sort of league-winning team, you have a nucleus. And obviously Fergie left 5 years ago. And the nucleus of this team is Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, and Ashley Young, who, even when we won the league, were shit. And they're the nucleus of this team. They're the only ones who get United who've actually won the league pretty much with De Gea. And it's like, there's only De Gea who has any respect or ding out of me. You know what I mean? It's not Ashley Young's fault he's now a fullback, but you can't have him. You can't have Valencia. You just can't have this team there. It's just square pegs in round holes. And it's gone on enough now. It's gone to the point where you're like, you know what? We've given them a chance. We've tried. They've tried. It's not working. And I dread to think if a manager comes in, there's not a lot of people there, especially in the defence, who he's going to keep. Not a lot. I mean, Luke Shaw's looked bright down the left. He really has, but he's the only one. Such poor play. De Gea's not been on the ball, but is it because he's got no confidence in the team? I don't know. But like I say, unfortunately, it's all back to Pogba. He's an enigma in the team. I mean, Lukaku is Lukaku. I just think Lukaku needs a small player off him, someone who can, a Berbatov, Robbie Keane. I've mentioned it before as a stupid comparison, but like you used to have Niall Quinn, Kevin Phillips, and all that stuff in the early Premiership years, and Shearer, Chris Sutton. You had these sort of partnerships that worked. Fowler, Collymore, they worked. United had like Sheringham, Solskjaer, Sheringham, Andy Cole, Sheringham, York, whatever. They had these sort of players. Now, Lukaku reminds you of Andy Cole. People have quite forgetful memories, but Andy Cole was a pretty poor footballer, like Gary Lineker, but he would score goals. I absolutely love Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ruud van Nistelrooy is one of my all-time strikers. I absolutely love that guy. And we've never seen a striker since he left Ruud. He was a fantastic player, one of my all-time probably top 5 players at United, Van Nistelrooy. I love that guy. And when he came in, it showed how bad Andy Cole was as a footballer because his distribution, his touch was terrible. Andy Cole's first game in '95 when we signed him, we were playing Blackburn at home. He burst through after 3 minutes. Colin Hendry came across him and he missed literally an open net. And Andy Cole's renowned for that. But he did get goals. He got important goals for us as well. So he is very similar, Lukaku, to Cole, but he needs someone feeding him. You can't expect him to constantly have his back to goal. And he played well yesterday with his back to goal. And then obviously he does a stupid thing in the second half and falls over the ball and does his knee. And it's just like, what the hell? You know, this just sums the guy up. Unfortunately, everything he does is under a microscope. And there's nothing you can do about that. His touch is poor at times, but he needs the ball in front of him. He needs to be running onto it. He needs the service. We haven't got a proper player who can cross. Ashley Young can cross when he feels like it, but he's playing on the left, cutting inside. When he's played him on the right, yeah, he's looked a bit more positive. There is a few crosses in, but Lukaku's not played. I mean, you know, it's 2-2. All right, if he's injured, he's injured. But you bring Jesse Lingard on with 10 minutes to go and take Lukaku off. And all right, if he was injured, you've got to do it. There's nothing you can do. But if it's not injured and it's purely tactical, what the hell are you going to do? I mean, Rashford's crap. He's just Danny Welbeck. I've said it loads of times, 2.0. People can say what they want. I've seen loads of people slagging people off like myself for slagging Rashford off. I've seen week in, week out. He's got a slapped ass face, a bad attitude. Just, he's not good enough. He's not a winger. He's not a striker. If he's a striker, then play him off Lukaku. If you really, really, truly believe he's that good, play him. That's fine. I will be happy to eat humble pie. But you can tell with players straight away. If you've watched football for years, and I'm not a great footballer, but I'm a fan. I've got a football brain as such, or I think I have. This Diego Dalot is a right back. He's a player. You could see against Young Boys, yeah, they were a great team. He's a good player. And he can see he's got it about him. And he should be playing every week now. There's no excuse. We've got nothing to lose. We're 16 points behind City. We're not going to get top four the way we're playing. Unless these, I mean, they've already said statistically now, United have to break every single record known to the Premiership in 26 years for them to become four in the top four. So it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? We've got to take points off every single one of the top four at least. And even if we do, we'll probably go to somewhere like pissing Burnley or something and get beat. So it's just like, no, it's gone. I honestly fear in January, United are trying to portray this. We're not going to keep sacking managers. But if you've got the wrong manager in and the team aren't playing, and they aren't playing for him, the team is a joke. Nobody wants to fight for Mourinho. He's portraying this thing that everyone's out to get him. But even I, at times, have stuck up for him. I've got to say, the riot, the absolutely riot. It's just one of them things. It's gone. Mourinho's gone. He's stuck in the past, and that's it. The only bright side I've had this week is Liverpool getting beat. And then we scored against Young Boys last minute. The old Fellaini scored. And it was a good goal, to be fair. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there, a little dig against Ben and Dave. It's not hug and mank this week at all, but, you know, maybe if Everton get a result, it could be 2 back-to-back defeats for Jurgen Baby. So them white teeth might start getting a bit yellow again when he starts getting a bit worried. But anyway, it's all wishful thinking. But back to United, shit show, piss poor, not good enough. We've got Arsenal on Wednesday. But yeah, we've got Arsenal Wednesday. I think it's going to be a defeat. And I hate saying that. I'm always positive. Even I do a Super 6 on Sky with work and we're in the league. And every game I always put United to win. I'll never bet against my team. But for me, it's just gone. Absolutely gone. Mourinho's gone. That's it, I think. I just honestly think they need to get rid of him before January because we're going to waste more money. Mourinho, one thing I said about Mourinho, and I've said this before on the podcast, is he inherited a lot of Van Gaal's team and Moyes. I mean, Moyes signed Mata and Fellaini, and he still plays Fellaini. Mata would have him over Fellaini every time because he's creative, but he throttles all the creative players. he seems to think that by having Pogba in there, when you've got a Mata, a Sanchez, not playing him to the strengths, playing him out wide, playing him off. He should be playing off the strikers, just real poor. If Mata was playing behind Lukaku or Sanchez, just behind him, perfect. Sanchez's best games this season. I know he's injured now, which I don't think he's injured. I think it's just a case of they're not playing him because he's going in January. I think that's bollocks and he's going to go. But he's playing. Sanchez played up front on his own and he played really well. So you've got to go with one or the other. But they need another striker. They need 2 centre-backs because he's not playing Bailly. Lindelof's looked really good. You need maybe one, but you need at least 1 or 2. Get rid of the Deadwood. But I just don't think I could trust Mourinho with his signings in January. And for me, now, hand on heart, unless there's a monumental swing, and I know we're all fair weather fans, if you start winning a few games, you start believing again. But the performances I've seen this season, bar Juventus away, which was just an absolute, and they played well in that game, irrespective of 2 Scorpy goals at the end. We actually played really well. I know Mata's good goal, but the second one was just a pure luck. We did play well in that game. But other than that, I've not seen anything this season positive where I can say, you know what, done the business. Like City away last season, 2-0 down, City are there, ready to win the league. If we beat us and United win 3-2, and it pissed on their chips, which is great. But I don't know. I just think there's not much more I can say. Mourinho's got to go. Give someone a chance. Let in January them get a couple of players, because if they get a couple of Mourinho signings in January and someone comes in next summer, we're another 200, 300, 400 million down the drain of useless transitional period. Just get it done now. Get the youth in. I don't know who's going to replace him. I don't believe in Zidane. I think Zidane inherited a great team. Whether he could do it, I'd love him to prove me wrong. Like what Guardiola's done at City, to be fair. I know he spent the money, but he has proven me wrong, Guardiola, because he'd always been in teams that were already made, basically, and just came in and tweaked it. So I was wrong with Guardiola. He is class and City are class, unfortunately. But I just go with it. Go with something. I don't think there's anything out there. If they're going to give it Giggsy, he gets the club. Is it right? I'm not sure. Laurent Blanc could be a shout, to be fair. He's just an actual bona fide manager. He's cut his teeth. He knows United. Maybe go with that. And he's a French connection there for people like Griezmann. I don't know. So said it was going to be a short one, sweet one. It's another United run. I'm pretty sure the way it's going, there's going to be a few more this season. Chat Footy podcast. You can get hold of us on Twitter at Chat Footy if you want to get hold of Dave and give him some abuse, especially if you're not a Liverpool fan. At Chat Footy Dave. I've still not set mine up yet, which would be at Chat Footy Chris. Dave and Ben's podcast is the Grassroots Coachcast. So get over on Twitter, Grassroots Coachcast, and on iTunes. Great episode this week regarding bullying, and Ben had a bit of a nightmare with some dodgy ref pulling the old tricks out to another ball on the pitch. But please follow them. Great podcast. Myself and Dave have our podcast, Comics in Motion. So if you get over to Comics in Motion P on Twitter, and it's Comics in Motion on iTunes, where me and Dave review TV, movie, stuff that's based on comic books. So it can be anything from the Avengers to Superman to crazy stuff like Spawn or The Losers, anything. And we are going to shoe in an Office reference at some point because we love Ricky Gervais. So take care, guys. And Dave and Ben may come back this week. They might have a bit of a rant later, and hopefully we'll get us all back on at some point. But I just thought it'd be good to get on, get it off my chest. If you agree or disagree, give us a message on Twitter. I'm at Chris Phelps 78. That's PHELPS. Take care, everyone. And as they say, the only good thing is it's still 2018 to United against Liverpool. Take care. Bye.